Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about Fluxx. Fluxx is a very popular card game that's available in all sorts of stores and is now available on iOS. Let's take a look and see how this fun social card game plays out on a digital device. Just to note, I'm using Family Fluxx, not the basic Fluxx which is featured in the app. Just happens to be what I own. Fluxx is a game about changing rules to win the game. At the start of the game, there is no goal to win. There are just basic rules. You draw one card and you play one card. In your hand, you will have different cards that will change the way the game works. There are keepers. These are basic collection items that you place in front of you, and keepers will relate to goals. When you have the two keepers on the current goal that is in play, then you will win the game. So the goal is to find the correct keepers and then get a goal that can match it. There are also new rules that you can play out that have text and new rules that will affect the game. These new rules can go out, and any rule that does not counteract another one will remain out, so there can start to be mini rules out. There are also actions, which are a one-time thing that let you do an action that is available to you. Fluxx is a very social game. The gameplay is simple, not deep, but the main focus of the game is laughing at your family and friends as they make mistakes and you sneak in a victory in Fluxx. Now the good folks at Playdeck have brought us Fluxx for iOS. Let's take a look and see how this very social game plays on a digital platform. The game features offline play with pass and play or against AI. The AI features two difficulty levels. So in the game, as you can see, it's very colorful. There are many cards. As a player plays a card, it is shown, and then there's a symbol representing the rule in the middle. It can start out a little confusing, but you'll learn these symbols as you play. There are other options that you can adjust sound and game speed. I would definitely turn those up if you're going to be playing this solo, as it can be a little slow at first. The design here is what we've come to expect from Playdeck card games and is as enjoyable to use as ever and really presents everything clearly. I again argue that maybe the use of cards wasn't necessary here, but they've definitely done some steps forwards by showing the rules as icons as well as the keepers as icons, so we're not always seeing all the text when we do not have to. Overall, it should appeal to the core audience, I think, for this game, which is families and casual gamers. The game features online play with up to 4 players. As you can see at this time when I was reviewing it, it was not out released, so there were not a lot of games available, but currently the servers are very full and there are tons of people playing. You can also check your online record, how you've done in the different games, and you can play against friends or against complete strangers. The only thing I would have loved is with such a social game, I would have loved the ability to communicate with other players, whether it be through chat or some sort of emoticon sending that would have just given it an extra dimension and added that social touch that sometimes online games can lack. If you do not yet know how to play Fluxx, there is a rulebook in the game which you can read through. There is also a built-in tutorial which will teach you how to play and also how the interface works, which can be useful if you are new to iOS card game design. The bottom line with Fluxx is that it is a quality port. If you're a fan of Fluxx and its wild gameplay, and you want an iOS version of it, here it is. Playdeck has done an excellent job. They've created all the rules. They've managed a way to make everything somewhat understandable, even though it is quite hectic in this game, even in real life. And so it definitely is a must-have for fans of Fluxx. If you are not yet a fan of Fluxx, this is a great way to check it out. There's great tools for new players, and it's a great way to learn the basic rules of the game. I would only hesitate to say that it lacks, I think, the major element of Fluxx, which is a social component. Of course, you can play it pass and play, so this may be a great way to check out Fluxx with your family and friends before you purchase the physical cards. Many of the games here we review are strategic games, even many from Playdeck, Summoner Wars, Ascension. Those are all games that take a high level of strategy. Now, Fluxx is not a game with a lot of strategy, however, playing it in this kind of non-social remove setting has actually revealed some new strategies to me, which does make it interesting and is a kind of an interesting thing to find in such a fun, wacky card game. I am not a Fluxx hater. I think it's a fun, wacky social card game that plays great with family and friends. I like this app. I think it's well done. My only concern is that I do not think it will be one that's played a lot by myself, as it lacks the major social element of Fluxx that I do enjoy. I would love to see the online play have more social elements that would then increase the amount of connection I have with the game and the sort of fun that I generally associate with Fluxx. That being said, while the game may not be an essential, it definitely is worth picking up if you want some zany Fluxx fun on the go.